Hey, what's up guys? It's MetaGamesGX here, and we're going to take a look at Tearlaments now post AGE of, because Tearlaments, they got a lot of support with HORUS. It's a new engine that just came out. It's super free with really any deck that can benefit off of the graveyard and discards, and Tearlament can do both. Now, I did just post a deck profile post AGE of for Tearlaments without HORUS. This is for people who are picking up the new cards and like to test out the new build. I think that either build is pretty good. Like, Tearlament's very malleable. You're able to pick and play the little engines that you put into the deck to make it work and how you want to play it. I think HORUS is going to be one of those options. Is it going to be the best option? Who knows? I think that's for time to tell, but I think it's very good, and let me show you guys the build. Also, thanks for watching. Like and subscribe, and let's get into this. Alrighty, so the HORUS cards came out, obviously, in Age of Overlord, and they have really nothing to do with the old HORUS cards, but there's 5 relevant cards that you're going to want to pay attention to for the new cards. And also for the Tearlaments engine, I mean, in my deck build, we're only running 3 of the cards because we're running a lighter engine. I think that the engine runs really well when you have a lighter engine. So we have Dwamatef, which is one that we're not running. We have Happy. This one's a recycler, basically. We have this one. We are not running it. These two are really the more brick ones, so that's why we are choosing not to run them. And then we have Imseti, the best one. This one's a draw 1 plus discard to get King Sark. Then King Sark's very free. All of them can special summon when King Sark is on the field. So this thing allows you to summon 1 card from your hand graveyard, summon 1 HORUS monster from your graveyard. You can activate up to 4 times a turn, and also has a pop effect with the with HORUS monsters, which is pretty nice because they're all pretty big guys, pretty big beaters, which is nice. But they're mainly there to go into rank 8s. Now there are 2 rank 8 options. There is the Zombie Vampire, which is very good. It makes you both mill 4, and then you get a special summon monster from either side that was milled off of either mill 4, which is actually pretty good, so you can extend further into that. And then there's Photon Galaxy Lord, or which you're able to go into. So we have Galaxy Eyes Photon Lord, basically a way to get around Nibiru, which I'm not sure if I'd run this, but this is always another consideration. So let's just get into the deck profile now. We are running 3 Imseti Glory of the HORUS. This one, like I said, is the best HORUS card. You're able to basically get out your King Sarcophagus, and I'm going to put this up here so we can talk about the whole engine, because it's a 5-card engine. We could run more, however, we don't want to break, because we have to remember Tearlaments is one of those decks that can't really run that much non-engine. But we're able to, so we have to make sacrifices when we can, and we're just running the bare bones, but the best we can. You might be wondering, why are we running only 1 King Sarcophagus? Well, because Imseti gets it, and we're able to get Imseti access basically at any time through our mills, and then also we have our shufflers and able to get back the gold sarcophagus. So you're able to really just set up that Sark search. So you really only have to run 1, so you aren't bricking, because it's not even a bad mill at 1, but you don't want to run the 2, so you don't need the 2, you just need the 1. I think that I've been seeing OCG only run 1, so this is where I got that ratio from, and I've been really liking it for the testing. So, and then like I said, Happy, but this one allows you to draw 1, and by sending 2 cards, including itself, to the graveyard to search a King Sark, and then you get to draw 1, which is very good. Then it gets to special summon itself from the graveyard when King Sark is on the field. Very free, very 3000. It's dark, so you're able to fuse off of it in order to go into Mud Dragon, which is very good. That's why it's, I think, very good in the deck, because you're able to, it doubles as like fusion material and also as advantage. Then these 2 are really just the more bricks, but you're able to get around that with your shufflers. And then we have obviously 3-tier kashtira. There's really no explanation for that 3-tier kashtira. It's really good. Whenever you draw this, you're basically in a good position. You're able to play on your opponent's turn, worst case scenario, and you're able to extend insanely with this card. We are then going to go with 2 Nessie. So Nessie we're running a slight danger engine with 2 Nessie, 1 Mothman. Mothman's nice because it's a level 4, so you can go to rank 4s, and then Nessie is just nice because it's an aqua, so we can get early Kaleido Heart access, because you need aquas for Kaleido Heart, and you don't want to be, your only other aquas are the names, and you really want to be using those for fusion. So Nessie's there as a nice extender and able to get some stuff in the graveyard when you draw those bricks, and you're able to link off with it. And then you have Malicious, 2 malicious plus a denier. You run the Destiny Hero engine with the dangerous because Beatrice is one of the best cards in the game. It helps you set up your Horus plays. You can send the Mseti to the graveyard, or the King Sark, and then just do what you need to do, and then obviously just have follow up your next turn for fusions or just whatever you need to do. Beatrice is that card that completes everything. It really makes this deck very flexible and versatile, so that's why I really like this engine. Deniers there really just as more link fodder, and then able to get into recycled maliciouses. And then we have Shaddoll Beast. We're not running the Winda because we are just pretty tight on space this build. I don't think Winda is necessary. We go into SP basically instead. So yeah, I think Beast is still a pretty good mill. I could see myself cutting this. This very much could be cut. And then and then obviously we have Tearlaments Sharon. This is the best name in the deck, so we max out on the names. 1 Zephyros because we're actually running the King Sarks plus the 3 Scream. So we have a lot of continuous trap cards, including the Soliac, so you're able to get a lot of value off of the Zephyros by returning them. And then also it's a level 4, it's a dark, so you can also side it out because it's once per duel, so it's pretty good I think in this build. Then we have 1 Agido, 1 Kelbeck, because obviously Kelbeck is if you hit these cards you're basically winning the game. 1 Mudora because it's a shuffler, and then 1 Keldo because it's the other shuffler, and then 3 Rhino Heart. I like the 3 Rhino Heart because I like to max out on the names. I mean, Rhino Heart plus Scream is obviously a mill 5. So that's why we max out on the Scream and Rhino Heart just for the good mills. We're obviously at 42 cards, so we want our mills to be as good as possible, so that's what I'm trying to do with this build. You could go 41 cards. I will say that immediately. Like you can very much cut like a Denier, a Zephyros. This is just how I want to build it, or a Scream, or a Rhino Heart. I would not recommend a Rhino Heart. I think maxing out is really nice on these two. And then we have Havness, Murley, obviously, and then a Diviner because it gets us a level 6 access. It's also a free mill 5. It's very good. We aren't running the Baron, but that's okay. Nib doesn't exist, right, guys? So that's why I'm saying, like, if you want to get around Nib, Galaxy Photon is probably your play, or to just put back in the Baron and make sacrifices elsewise. I do want to run the SPIP package, so that's why we're neglecting to go into Baron. It's kind of one of those things. It's like you're gonna bet on them having it, and then also you can still play through Nibiru with this deck most of the time. So yeah, Foolish Burial goods for the Triv Karma and the Soliac. Foolish Burial is like one of the best cards in the deck. Terraforming, 3 Forbidden Droplet. This is your reason you can go second and just crush boards. You're also able to set up your board with the Horus cards. So you can unbrick that way when you draw the Happy, or you draw an extra Mseti or something like that, and you don't want to discard your hand. You're able to set up your graveyard that way and then get into the King Sark. Obviously with the Zephyros and Denier and Malicious, I think Droplet just has a lot of application in this deck in order to break boards and help going second, because you aren't able to run a lot of whole non-engine. There isn't much non-engine here except for the droplets, but I think the deck can play through a lot with its advantage loop, and then also Droplet just really is there and you're able to draw a lot. So I think 3 is the right call. Like I said, I might go 41 with this build just to make it a little bit more consistent, but that is what it is. So then we have 3 Scream, because Scream is one of the best mills in the deck, and also just normal summon tier plus Scream equals basically almost combo most of the time. So yeah, we max out on that. And then 3 Purrely Rhino. No Rate Zoth. I don't run Fenrir. I would love to run Fenrir. It's just kind of hard to fit it in the deck, especially with the Horus cards. So I think that just Purrely Rhino is fine. Best field spell in the game, and then 1 Triv Karma, and then 2 Soliac, very standard. That's really kind of, and like I said, the Horus engine really allows this deck to generate a lot of advantage through Zombie Vampire. It's a small engine, that's why I recommend it, plus the fact you're able to fuse off of it. It's a dark engine, so yeah, it's very good in that respect. And then you're able to, more reason to run Zephyros and other techs, like Forbidden Droplet. And then you'll have Kaleido Heart, Draco Stapelia, 1 Dangerous, 1 Garura, 1 Mud Dragon, super standard. I wish I could run a Shaddoll Winda, but we just don't have the space, like I said. Wish I could run a Baron too. one zombie vampire. This thing's insane, making each other mill 4, and then if any of the monsters are sent in the graveyard by that effect, you special summon them. It can be any level. That's insane, folks. Very good card, very good extender. It's really just free on top of most of your things. If you play the horse cards right, you're not going to lose a lot of advantage on it. Especially with a small engine like that, you're basically just playing tier on top of it, Horus. So yeah, when Beatrice, because it's the best card in the deck, you're able to just send anything and do anything at any point because it's a quick play, Foolish Burial, any card. Bahamut Shark Toad, because sometimes we can get around Baron with this, and then also, not most of the time, but sometimes, and then also it's just a nice end board piece, and also you're able to get back the Haveness or the tier cash and play on your opponent's turn and have it negate. It's amazing, so good in the deck. And One Time Thief, it's the 4th tier name, basically, because you're able to detach for card effect and proc any your Shiren. One Abyss Dweller, because Unchained and Tearlament are very strong, so this is a very strong pick when you're able to just make this deck makes rank 4s like no tomorrow. I could see myself running Baguska for Flu, but I think this is a good enough lineup. But Baguska is definitely going to be a consideration depending on how prevalent Flu Ronderies is, so definitely keep in mind Baguska for that. And then one Underworld Goddess for the Purrely matchup, because it really does help that matchup. And then SP Little Knight and IP Masquerena. So these are new additions from AGOV as well. IP you're able to end on very easily because it's just 2 non-link monsters. And then you're able, so Denier, Malicious, Sephiroth, any of the Horus cards, extremely easy, or danger cards. And then you can go into SP Little Knight and have a banish and then another banish on your opponent's turn, so 2 banishes. It's huge. It gives this deck a lot more, that because now you can just do, because before it was just Kaleido Heart plus the field spell. Now you have 4 targets, so yeah, you lose to the Purrely field spell more. However, you know, you can still get away with, you can still play around it. But IP and SP are amazing. This deck, I highly recommend them. It's one of the decks that can very easily abuse these cards. And then one Cross Sheep, because it's Sprite Elf. And then we're going to go into the side deck. We have 2 Phantasmes, because it's really good against IP, or against SP, because it gets around the targeting factor and it lets you reshuffle your hands. You can also search off a Magnamut. And then you have the 2 Druid Swarm plus Magnamut for Tearlaments or Unchained. So very good, and this is also for Unchained, obviously. I really like this package, and plus they're all dark, so you're able to fuse off of them. 1 Harpies, just because it's a blowout, also because we're running a thrust package to get the Herald of the Abyss, or evenly matched, because this is very good against Purrely, and this is very good against Labyrinth and other decks, just general rogue. So very much, I feel like these are necessary evils. I could see myself maybe putting in talents or something. But then we're running the 3 Tikaboo. Shout out to Gabriel Nuts. This is just smart as fuck. It's so good in this deck, because even though you are running, I mean, these the Horus cards get around Tikaboo. You know, your whole deck gets around Tikaboo. So it's like, run this card. This is your way to beat Flunderies when they de-shifter you and you can't do anything. Very good. And then 1 Crime, because you want to get around evenly matched sometimes, basically. So yeah, that is the deck. How do you guys really like the new set with AGOV and Horus cards, adding a lot of fuel to Tearlaments? I think they're very good in the deck, but I think Tearlaments is one of those decks that is going to be able to do really anything and do well with it. So I think you're going to see a lot of people on Horus cards in the events coming up. But I think that, you know, if you don't want to spend the money, you don't worry. If you still have the tier deck that you were playing last format, I think you'll just be fine. I don't think they're game breaking for the deck, but they are very good on top of that. I think they will give you an edge, probably. I think that this will likely be the best build, but only time will tell. What do you guys think? Leave a comment below. Are you guys on that Photon Lord? You know, let me know what I'm missing. I think this is going to be a very represented deck going forward. One of the best decks, if not the best deck. If you guys would like to see a top 10 decks for this format, please let me know below. Also, if you'd like to see an updated branded deck profile, let me know below. We're going to try to do that next. See you guys later. If you'd like to see a combo video for this, also let me know. Check out my Twitter. Check out the Discord. We have a nice community there. Check out the Spotify podcast. Check out the podcast on YouTube. All the links down below. See you guys later. Have a great day.